Depending on the products you want to sell on Amazon, you may be required to request approval to sell in those categories. These are called gated categories. So while toys and games, for example, is open to everybody, there are other categories that you have to show Amazon that you understand the rules, that you're going to follow their policies, and they require you to request approval to sell. If you want to find out which categories require approval, the easiest way is to simply put that into the search. Categories requiring approval. In the number one search result, categories and products requiring approval. And there's the list of everything that you need to apply for to be allowed to sell. Recently, beauty, grocery and gourmet foods, and health and personal care have become gated categories. Those used to be open, but due to the fact that they are ingestibles and topicals, Amazon wants to make sure that you are buying legitimate products from legitimate sources. They don't want counterfeit products coming to market that may harm their customers. So they just want to make sure that you have invoices from wholesalers, distributors, manufacturers, so that you can submit those and say, these are the products I intend to sell, here's my source for those products, and then the approval process will begin. So if you want to apply to those three, that's kind of the general rule, is you have to have good metrics and have invoices from your sources. Now, some of the other categories, a couple of them that I am personally approved to sell in are watches and automotive and power sports. Those were very easy to get into. I submitted pictures that met the requirements and went through the approval process. For watches, automotive, I simply gave a link to my Amazon storefront as my website, because if you click on the automotive and power sports, you'll see that the requirements are laid out there for you, and one of those requirements just says that you must have either an independent website that can be reviewed or be an existing seller with a professional selling plan with an account in good standing. Now, like I said, I used my storefront website, but really I didn't need an independent website because I am an existing seller with a professional selling plan and my account is in good standing. So very easy to get approved in automotive and power sports, very easy to get approved in watches. That is not the case with clothing, which is one of the tougher categories to get approved in. They require specific pictures, flat file upload, which you'll hear that term used in the forums or Facebook groups. And a flat file upload is nothing more than a fancy way of saying an Excel spreadsheet. That's all it is. Now, there are certain parameters that you have to fill in, certain hoops that you'll have to jump through. It is not a quick process, but it is quite doable. And that goes for luggage, shoes and handbags, sexual wellness. Those are all categories that take a little more time and effort to get approved in. So it just depends on what you have to sell as to whether or not it is reasonable for you to take the steps to get approved. I would not get approved just because, but if you have a legitimate business need and you have products that you want to bring to market that you think will benefit Amazon and the Amazon customer, then take the time to go through the approval process. Stick with it. It can be done. There are people selling in every one of these categories. So don't get discouraged. Follow the rules. Let Amazon guide you. They'll tell you what was not quite up to their standards, what you did well, and eventually you can get approved in all these categories.